Mike here for Game, everybody. Welcome to Zombie Exodus or Safe Haven. I'm sorry. I purchased everything I could, and I think we might be starting from Safe Haven. I'll make the correct differentiations inside of the description and on the episodes. But I think we should start from episode Safe Haven, and then we'll get to Exodus, and so forth and so on. And eventually we'll play everything. I think all these games continue from one to another, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope to play this entire series through. We're not going to take a pre-rendered character. We're going to create our own character. So if that isn't your cup of tea, feel free to fast forward about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes until we're done with that process. I don't want you to have to sit through anything you're not interested in sitting through. And I would totally understand if you want to come in on episode 2 or episode 3 after we've thoroughly got our wits about us and we understand what to do. Also, I am coming from this game from someone who's only played it for a short period of time. I think I played it a few hours ago during COVID, and I got a little practice on it, but it doesn't mean it's going to translate to whatever I'm doing now. Have I ever played any zombie games through to the end, from the beginning to end? No. Have I ever completed any? No. Do I know all the eccentricities of it? No. And am I going to make lots of mistakes? Yes. So please be patient with me and give me time. And if you do have tips and tricks you'd like to offer to everyone out there, please just make them toward the general audience, not directly toward me, but make it toward other people who are playing and say, hey, look, here's a spoiler. You can get this if you do that. And hey, if you put more points on this, you could open up this ability. So I have no problem with anybody offering spoilers to those out there who want to play this game. The developer's name is Jim Totillo. He is an excellent writer, storyteller, developer, and has been making accessible games for quite some time. Hats off to him for this series, and it's amazing. And yes, I've been wanting to play this series for at least a year or so. So we're going to open this series up on Tuesdays. The first few episodes will be a little bit over an hour, so I hope that is your cup of tea. Eventually, the episodes will probably shrink down to about 45 minutes to a little under an hour when we've kind of gotten the hang of it. And if they do become extremely popular, they'll be converted into live premieres, depending on what you all do. So your likes, when they get up really high, somewhere around 20 or so, tells me that you want it to be a much more heavily represented game on the channel. And of course, your comments tell me that you really like it, and it gives me a little bit of an insight on what you all are thinking. And if you really like it and you want to make sure you don't miss anything, you can always subscribe, and you'll have a really good opportunity to not miss any of the new episodes. With that said, let's talk a little bit about how I do my Let's Plays. I typically take my time. I like to just slowly blend into the game, get a feel for it. I have my voiceover speed on 65%. I take my time and learn how to play the game. I might make mistakes. I might forget things. I might experiment with things because I want to understand everything. I often use MyNoise BBA to add extra sound and sound effects. Sometimes I combine several generators. So if I'm in a certain part of the game, you might notice that the background sounds from MyNoise BBA, be it a forest or a lake or some kind of area like that, will fit the theme of the story a little bit, as best as I can do so. I'll also sometimes use music, which you'll get from YouTube Creator Studio. All of my music is copyright free and used by myself because the writer and song composer has given me free use of any of their music, no attribute required. So if you do hear music, it is all attribute free, and I am allowed to use that music, and it is not copyright music. Also, letting you know, If there are new updates to the game, I'll try to remind you all what's going on. So if we need to restart because we had an opportunity to do so, we might do so. Because this is really our first playthroughs of the game, so we have a lot to learn. We have purchased the special packages that gives us extra bonus points to our character. We also might experiment with giving our character disabilities, but for now, we might just play it straight and try to beat it, and then we might go back and make it a little bit harder on ourselves, and we'll see how that goes. Also, feel free to share in the comments your experiences you've had. With all of that said, let's go ahead. And also, one more last thing, you'll sometimes hear me roleplay different parts of characters within the game, so that is just part of who I am, and I hope you like that. And with all of that now said, let's go ahead and start our game. Selection and choices.
Build a new character.
Okay, we're going to be building a new character.
Build a new character. Build it. How do you want to start part 2?
Okay, we're going to be starting part 2.
Build a new character. Radio button. Unchecked. 1 of 5.
Yes, unchecked.
New character plus. Bonus skill and attribute points. Radio button. Checked. 2 of 5.
Okay, we've checked new character plus bonus skills.
Use a pre-made character. Radio button. Unchecked. 3
We
of
do
5.
not, I don't want a preset character.
Restore a saved game. Radio button. Unchecked.
We don't
4
need
of 5.
that.
Return to the main menu. Radio button. Next. Button.
Okay, let's go next.
Next.
Here we go.
Next. Button. You have 50 bonus skill points and 20 extra attribute points.
Woohoo! This is cool. 50
Show stat. You have 50 bonus skill points and 20 extra
50
attribute points.
50 bonus skill points and 20 extra attribute points. Great.
Select what bonuses you want.
All right, let's select our bonuses.
Play with these options. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4.
Play with these options. Yes.
Disable the 20 bonus attribute points. Radio button. Unchecked.
Oh,
2
no,
of
no,
4.
no, no. I paid for those. I made a one-time purchase for those bonus attribute points and a one-time purchase for those extra skill points. I am using them.
Subtract 25 bonus skill points. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4.
No. I don't think so.
For players of Zombie Exodus, restore your game here for your reward. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 4.
Oh, Zombie Exodus, restore. So we can restore our game here. So if you were playing Exodus, I guess you can go back and forth between any of the games. So I think doesn't Exodus come after Safe Haven? I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Next. Button.
Let's just go
Next. Button.
Next.
Next. Mail. Radio button. Check. You are a. Show stats. Button. Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Heading.
All right.
Show stats. Button.
Now, I do remember Show Stats brings up a huge menu, so we're not going to look at that yet.
You are a.
Let's start getting our basic stats nailed down.
Male. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 3.
Okay, we are going to be a male. Yes.
Female. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3. Non-binary identity. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of. Next. Button.
All right, we're going to go to the next.
In terms of relationships, you are looking for.
Okay, in terms of relationship, what are we looking for? Are we going to be a relationship person? And I'm going to let you all make a lot of decisions after I get a hang of it. When we make some next playthroughs, you all can decide for me what you want me to do.
Both a romantic and sexual relationship. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4.
Hey, romantic and sexual. Okay.
In terms, both a romantic and sexual relationship. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 4.
Yeah, we'll have romantic and sexual relationships. That's fine.
A strictly romantic relationship. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 4.
Strictly romantic? No.
A strictly sexual relationship. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 4.
Strictly sexual, okay?
Finishing the survey and nothing more. I have no interest in relationships. Radio button.
Wow.
Unchecked.
You can
4 of
have
4.
no relationships.
Next. Button.
Let's go next. We're going to keep the first option.
Next. Next. Button. Any gender. Females. Radio button.
Here we go.
Unchecked. Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Heading. Show stats. Button.
Okay, show stats.
You are interested in.
What are we interested in a relationship?
Males. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 3.
No.
Females. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3.
We're going to be interested in females.
Checked.
Okay.
Any gender. Radio button. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked. Angel. Radio button. Alex. First name. Show stats. Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Show stats. Button. First name.
Okay, first name. Who are we going to be interested in? Oh, guess we have a cast already.
Alex. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 12. First name.
Okay, these are the females, I think.
Show stats. First name. Alex. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 12.
Alex is our first choice.
Angel. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 12.
Angel is our second choice.
David. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 12.
That's a guy.
Elijah. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 12.
That's a lot. That's a guy.
Jacob. Radio button.
That's a
Unchecked. Jaden. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of 12. Jude. Radio button. Unchecked.
These seem like
7
all
of 12.
guys here.
Morgan. Radio button. Unchecked. 8 of 12. Michael. Radio button. Unchecked. 9 of Sam. Radio button. Unchecked. 10. Sky. Radio button. Unchecked. 11 of
Okay,
12.
it doesn't tell me what I'm doing here. What am I doing?
First name. Zombie Exodus Safe. Home. Back button.
Maybe these are, okay, this is not relationship. I don't get it.
Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Heading.
Let's find out what this means.
Show stats. Button. First name. Alex. Radio button. Checked.
Okay,
1
it
of 12.
doesn't tell me, maybe these are people we add on the adventure. So we don't know what this means. Let's just, okay.
Jude. Radio
These
button.
must be the
Unchecked. 7
people
of 12.
that are in the adventure. Okay, let's see.
Angel. Radio. Alex. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 12.
It shows Alex.
Angel. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 12.
So we can have up to 12 people. Okay, I don't want to put too many people.
David. Radio. Elijah. Radio. Jacob. Radio button. Jaden. Radio button. Jude. Radio button. Morgan. Radio button. Michael. Radio button. Unchecked. Sam. Radio button. Unchecked. 10 of 12. Sky. Radio button. Unchecked. Something unique. Radio button. Unchecked. 12 of 12. Scott. Something unique. Radio button.
Something
unchecked. 12 of
unique.
12.
I don't know what that means.
Next. Button. Something unique. Radio button. Unchecked. 12 of 12.
What do y'all think? I don't know what to really hit here. Let's just do something unique.
Checked.
All right.
Jaden. Jude. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 12. Angel. Radio button.
Oh, it took
unchecked.
12.
2 of
Okay,
12.
so we can check up to 12 of these folks. Okay, so we just did something unique. That's fine.
Next. Button.
Let's go to next.
Your first name is.
Okay, let's put our name in.
Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the
All
rotor
right,
to access misspelled words.
I'm going to break out my keyboard. See if the keyboards work well here. Okay, opening up the Resolute desk. Oh, my keyboard is actually charging. So let's bring my keyboard over. Okay. Oh, my keyboard was on, wasting juice. All right, let's get our name.
Your first name. Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the rotor to access misspelled words.
Okay, let's hope my keyboard works as it was running out of juice. All right, keyboard. Nope, so far nothing.
Your first name is. Text field. Double tap to edit. Use the rotor to access. Insertion point at end.
Okay, keyboard is open. Our first name will be Game.
Cap G. A. M. E.
Okay, Game, all right?
Next. Button. Text field. Game. Your first name is.
Game.
Game. Text. Next. Button. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked.
Now what?
Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Heading. Show stats. Button. Last name.
Okay, last name will be.
Campbell. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 8.
Oh, we have to choose a preset name here.
Last name. Campbell. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 8.
Campbell. Game Campbell? That doesn't sound right.
Flores. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 8.
Flores.
Gray. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 8.
Hey, Game Gray. It's my last name.
King. Radio button.
King.
Unchecked. 4 of
Game
8.
King sounds really cool.
Lee. Radio button. Unchecked.
Lee.
Nguyen. Radio button. Thompson. Radio. Something else. Radio button. Unchecked. Next. Button.
Let's take Game King.
Something. Thompson. Nguyen. Lee. King. Radio button.
go
Unchecked.
King.
4.
We'll be
Check.
Game King.
Lee. Thompson. Something else. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Next. You think of all the details about who you are. I want to build my full profile. Radio button. Check. 1
All
of
right,
2.
we don't need our keyboard, it looks like. Let's shut our keyboard down because it looks like we don't need it anymore. Close that up. All right, good.
Keyboard visible.
Okay, keyboard has now been turned off.
I want to build my full profile. Radio button. Check.
Okay,
1 of
we're
2.
gonna build our full profile. So if you do think this is a part that's not very exciting for you, feel free to skip forward. All right, so let's build our full profile.
I want to move on without the extra details. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2. Next. Button. Next.
All right, let's
button.
build our full profile.
Uncheck.
Next.
Hispanic or Latino. Radio. East. Black/African. Asian. Radio button. Check. Home. Back button. Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Show stats. Button. What race or ethnicity best describes you?
All right, race and ethnicity doesn't matter to me.
Asian. Radio button. Black/African American. East Indian. Radio. Hispanic or Latino. Middle Eastern. Radio. Native American. Radio Pacific Islander. Radio white/Caucasian. Radio next button.
Well, this will just be
Black/African American.
Black/African American.
Black/African American. Radio button. Check. 2 of
Okay,
8.
let's
Check.
go.
Next button.
Next.
Noah, do you describe yourself as any other race or ethnicity?
I think we're fine.
Do you describe yourself as any other race or ethnicity?
I have a little Indian in me. I could say that. Let's find out.
Asian. Radio button. East Indian. Radio button. Unchecked. Hispanic or Latino. Radio. Middle Eastern. Radio button. Native American. Radio button. Unchecked.
We'll add
5
a
of 8.
little Native American because I do have a little Native American heritage.
Checked.
Okay, a little Native American added.
Pacific Islander. White/Caucasian. Radio. No other race or ethnicity. Radio button.
I have-
White/Caucasian. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 8.
I have a little white/Caucasian in me.
Pacific. White/Caucasian. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 8.
Can we put more than one? Let's see.
Checked. Pacific Islander. Middle Eastern. Native American. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 8.
Oh, it won't only let us put, so we'll put what we have the most of. We have more Native American than white/Caucasian.
Checked.
All right,
Pacific. White. No other race or ethnicity. Next button.
let's go next.
Next. Next button. Asian. Radio button. Do you describe show stats button. Do you describe yourself as any other race or ethnicity?
Okay, nope.
White/Caucasian. No other race or ethnicity. Radio next button. No other race or ethnicity. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 7. Checked. No other race or ethnicity. Next
Let's
button.
go next.
Unchecked.
All right, we made it past that screen.
What's your hair color?
Oh, now we got hair color. Okay.
Black. Radio button.
Nope.
Checked. 1 of 11. Blonde. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 11. Dark blonde. Radio button. Light brown. Radio button. Unchecked.
brown.
4. Dark brown. Radio button. Auburn or red. Radio button. Unchecked. Gray. Radio button. Unchecked. Blue. Radio button. Unchecked. Green. Radio button. Unchecked. Purple. Radio button. Unchecked. Bald. Radio button. Unchecked. 11 of 11.
We shall be smooth, bald, smooth. Mr. Clean.
Purple. Bald. Radio button. Unchecked. Checked.
Got that?
Next. Next. Button.
Go next.
Next. What's your eye color?
Eye color.
Black. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 6. Blue. Radio button. Brown. Radio button.
is brown.
Unchecked. 3 of 6. Checked.
Okay.
Next.
Go
Button.
next.
Next. Do you have a distinguishing feature?
Distinguishing feature. What do we think here?
Body jewelry/piercing. Radio button. Checked.
Piercings?
1 of 4.
Nah, not into piercings.
A scar. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
No,
4.
I've no scars.
A tattoo. Radio button. Unchecked.
I am not
3 of
into
4.
tattoos.
I have no distinguishing features. Radio
I
button.
guess I
Unchecked.
don't have
4 of 4.
any. We have no distinguishing features.
Checked. Next. Button. Unchecked.
Okay.
Please confirm the enhancements to your profile.
All right. Enhancements to our profile.
Race. Black or African descent. Native American.
Okay.
Hair color. Bald. Eye color. Brown. Distinguishing features. None. These enhancements look perfect. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 2.
Okay. We are perfect. I think everything's perfect.
Distinguish. These enhancements look perfect. Radio button. Checked. I want to redo my enhanced profile. Race. Hair color. It's at next. Button.
Let's go next.
Next.
These menus are so silky smooth.
You started out in the big city. I live in Nightfall, Colorado. Population 92,000 plus. Radio button. Checked. 1
Okay,
of
we
3.
got to decide where we start off. I have no idea where to start off, so we might just choose something random.
Suburbs. I live in a residential community outside of Nightfall, Colorado. Population 14,000 plus. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3.
No.
Country. I live out in the countryside. A distance outside Nightfall, Colorado. Population 4,000 plus. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
That's interesting.
Next. Button.
Let's choose the big city.
Big city. I live in Nightfall, Colorado. Population 92,000 plus.
Let's choose Nightfall.
Suburbs. I live in a big city. I live in Nightfall, Colorado. Population 92,000 plus. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 3.
Let's take that.
Next.
Go
Button.
next.
I want Nightfall. Smaller than Boulder but still a thriving multicultural community on the east side of the Colorado River.
Okay, multicultural city sounds interesting.
Before the outbreak, you lived a full life, remembering how things used to be. I don't want to take the survey. My profession tells me all I need to know. Radio button. Checked. 1 of
Okay,
3.
take the survey. I say we take a survey.
I take the survey to gain a better insight into all of my attributes and skills. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
I
of
want
3.
to know what we are capable of.
I want to customize my character's attributes and skills. Advanced players. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
I don't know what that means.
I take this. I want to customize my character's attributes and skills. Advanced players. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3. Next. Button. I want to customize my character's attributes and skills. Advanced players. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3. I take the survey to gain a better insight into all of my attributes and skills. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 3.
Let's find out more about our character. Let's take the survey, whatever that means.
I want to customize my character's attributes and skills. Advanced players. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3. I want to customize my character's attributes and skills. Advanced players. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 3.
Let's just do this survey. That sounds a little simpler. I'm not an advanced player.
Next button.
Maybe when we are playing it through again, we'll try to be more advanced. Okay, let's go.
I want next button.
Next.
Attribute bonus activated. Every living person is a combination of molecules combined in just the right way. Our experiences complement natural abilities and deficits to create unique individuals. Humans prioritize certain categories of physical and mental makeup.
Okay.
Rank the following in order of priority. 1 is my best feature. 8 is my worst.
All right. 1 is my best feature. 8 is my worst. Okay, let's rank everything. What are we going to be, folks? Are we going to be a strong, super heavy-duty person? Light, nimble, agile, intelligent, smart, but not too strong? I don't know. I think we're going to go for a strong bruiser type.
Which attribute would you rank as number 1? Strength. Physical power. Allowing me to lift more and strike harder. Crafters and laborers also require strength for their work. Impacts close combat weapons. Crafting. Hand-to-hand combat. And scavenging skills. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 8.
This is very important. I think this is exactly what we're going to go for.
Dexterity, quickness, hand-eye coordination, and reflexes, in such actions as throwing a baseball accurately or shooting a gun. Dexterity is also a prime attribute for athletics, cooking, driving, electronics, and ranged weapons. Radio button, unchecked, 2 of 8.
Is this important to us? Dexterity or
agility, measures movement, ability to dodge, and flexibility. Impacts athletics, close combat weapons, hand-to-hand combat, scavenging, and stealth. Radio button, unchecked, 3 of 8.
I want this to be important, so let's take this.
Checked.
That's going to be important to us.
Stamina, physical durability for such things as withstanding pain, the elements, and disease. Survivalists find this attribute important. Radio button, unchecked, 4 of 8.
Let's take this is important. Survivalist is very important. Let's click
Check.
that.
Charisma, measures social ability and physical appearance, as well as the ability to lead, persuade, or intimidate others. Radio button, unchecked, 5 of 8.
This
Messages.
is important.
Now, Marissa Church.
This
Song. Beauty.
this is important to have good charisma.
Stamina, charisma, measures social ability and
what
physical
else is
appearance.
there, though?
Intelligence, mental acuity, problem solving, and learning potential. This attribute also increases gains during periods of learning and is a prime attribute for cooking, crafting, driving, electronics, leadership, medicine, science, and surge. Radio button, unchecked, 6 of 8.
This is important, but maybe not the most important.
Willpower, mental resistance and impulse control, as well as sensing emotion in others. Willpower is a prime attribute for empathy, intimidation, and survival. Radio button, unchecked,
That's
7 of 8.
important.
Perception, ability to detect with the senses. Perception also contributes to intuition and searching areas for hidden objects or concealed individuals. It impacts empathy, ranged weapons, search, and stealth. Radio button, unchecked, 8 of
We're
8.
not going to be doing much range, but perception is important.
Next button. Perception, ability to
But
detect with the
let's
senses. Perception also
focus on
contributes to
our-
intuition and searching areas for hidden
let's
objects or
focus
concealed
on
individuals.
heavy-duty
It
stuff
impacts empathy,
first.
ranged weapon, agility, measures movement, ability to dodge, and flexibility. Impacts athletics, close combat weapons, hand-to-hand combat, stamina, physical durability for agility, measures movement, ability to dodge, and flexibility. Impacts athletics, close combat weapons, hand-to-hand combat, scavenging, and stealth. Radio button, unchecked, 3 of 8.
3 of 8. Uncheck. Let's hit this.
Check.
We got that done. Okay.
Dexterity, quickness, strength, physical power, allowing me to lift more and strike harder. Crafters and laborers also require strength for their work. Impacts close combat weapons, crafting, hand-to-hand combat, and scavenging skills. Radio button, unchecked, 1 of 8.
Oh, okay. It looks like they're going to make us go through it one by one because I thought we would just hit them all. We would double tap and we would select each one. Okay, let's just do strength first. And as it makes us go back through them, it looks like their list would decrease. Let's take strength first.
Which strength, physical power, dexterity, quickness, strength, physical power, allowing me to lift more and strike harder. Crafters and laborers also require strength for their work. Impacts close combat weapons, crafting, hand-to-hand combat, and scavenging skills. Radio button, unchecked, 1 of 8.
Uncheck. Let's check it.
Check.
All right, we got that checked. And I think we need to go to next now.
Strength, physical power, strength, physical power, allowing me to lift more and strike harder. Crafters and laborers also require strength for their work. Impacts close combat weapons, crafting, hand-to-hand combat, and scavenging skills. Dexterity, quickness, hand-eye coordination, and reflexes, in such actions as throwing a baseball accurately or shooting a gun. Agility, measures movement. Intelligence, willpower, perception. Next, button.
Let's go next.
Which attribute would you rank as number 2?
All right, great. It's going to make it very, very straightforward and simple. All right, now we need to select our second most important attribute. I love this.
Dexterity, quickness, hand-eye coordination, and reflexes. In such actions as throwing a baseball accurately or shooting a gun.
Let's get
Dexterity is also
this.
agility, measures movement. Dexterity, quickness, hand-eye coordination. Checked.
Yeah, we want dexterity. That's important.
Charisma, measure, intelligent. Next, button. Which attribute would you rank as number 3?
All right, number 3, what's important to us?
Agility, measures movement, ability to dodge, and flexibility. Impacts athletics, close combat weapons, hand-to-hand combat, scavenging, and stealth.
You will take that.
Agility, measures movement, ability to dodge, intelligence, willpower, perception. Next, button.
Okay.
Which attribute would you rank as number 4?
All right, our 4th ability.
Intelligence, mental acuity. Which attribute would you rank as number 4? Stamina, physical durability for such things as withstanding pain.
Yeah,
the
let's
elements,
get that.
And disease. Check.
Get that. I should have maybe made that sooner.
Next, button.
Get that.
Next.
This would be number 5th.
Which attribute would you rank as number 5? Charisma, measure social ability and physical intelligence, mental acuity, willpower, mental resistance and impulse control, as well as perception, ability to detect with the senses.
Let's
perception
go
also contributes to
perception.
intuition. Check. Next,
Go
button.
next.
Next.
Okay, this is going to be our 6th most important ability.
Which attribute would you rank as number? Charisma, measure intelligence, mental acuity, willpower, mental resistance
Let's
and
go
impulse
willpower.
control. Check.
And let's take that.
Next, button. Next.
This is our 7th important thing.
Which attribute would you rank as number 7? Charisma, measure social ability, intelligence, mental
Let's
acuity,
go for
problem solving.
intelligence.
Check.
Sorry, charisma.
Next, button. Since you activated bonus attribute points for this character, you may now adjust your points.
Ooh, we have bonus attributes. Lovely.
Current attributes.
Okay, let's find out what we can do here.
Strength, 70%.
Our strength is 70%.
Dexterity, 65%.
Okay.
Agility, 60%. Stamina, 55%. Charisma, 35%. Intelligence, 40%. Willpower, 45%. Perception, 50%. Remaining attribute points, 20.
Ooh, we have 20 attributes. Lovely.
Which attribute would you like to adjust?
Okay, which one do we want to adjust here?
Strength, physical power, allowing me to lift more and strike harder. Crafters and laborers also require strength for their work. Impacts close combat weapons, crafting, hand-to-hand combat, and scavenging skills. Radio button, checked, 1 of 9.
Okay, let's do this one first.
Dexterity, quickness, agility, measures movement, stamina, charisma, intelligence, willpower, perception. I'd rather, next, button. I'd rather choose my attributes another way. Radio button, unchecked, 9 of 9. Perception, ability to, next, button.
Let's do it this way.
Next.
Okay, let's find out how this works.
Remaining attribute points, 20.
We have 20 points.
Current value of strength, 70.
All right, now we can adjust strength individually.
How much do you want to raise or lower the attribute?
Okay, we have 20 points to use.
Raised by 20, dimmed. Radio button, unchecked, 1 of 9.
Raised by 20. Now we're going to spread it around a little bit.
Raised by 10, dimmed. Raised by 5, dimmed. Radio button, unchecked, 3 of 9. Raised by 1, dimmed. Raised by 5, dimmed. Radio
Let's
button,
raise it
unchecked,
by...
3 of 9.
Let's raise it by...
Raised by 10, dimmed.
Let's
Radio
raise
button,
it by
unchecked,
10.
2 of 9. Unchecked.
Let's raise it by 10.
Raised by 5, dimmed. Raised, lower by 1. Lower by 5. Lower by 10. Lower by 20. Cancel. Radio button, next. Cancel. Radio button, unchecked, 9 of 9. Next, button.
Let's go next.
Current attributes.
Here we go.
Current attributes. Strength, 69%.
What happened here?
Screen recording in progress. 6:43
what
p.m.
happened here?
Button. Cellular. 4 of 4 bar. Current attributes. Strength, 69%. Dexterity, 65%.
Okay, I thought I put 10 points in there. What happened?
Agility, 60%. Stamina, 55%. Charisma, 35%. Intelligence, 40%. Willpower, 45%. Perception, 50%. Remaining attribute points, 21.
We might have made some mistake. We took 1 point away. we made a mistake. Okay, I don't know what we did here.
Which attribute would you like to adjust?
Okay, let's try this again.
Strength, physical power, allowing me to lift more and strike harder. Crafters and laborers also require strength for their work. Impacts close combat weapons, crafting, hand-to-hand combat, and scavenging skills. Radio button, checked, 1 of 9.
Okay, let's try this again.
Dexterity, quickness, hand-eye, agility, measure, stamina, physical, charisma, intelligence, willpower, perception, ability. I'd rather choose my attributes another way. Radio button, unchecked, 9 of, next, button. Next,
Let's
button.
try this again.
Next,
Because I think we made a mistake.
next, button.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Remaining attribute points, 21.
Okay, we took a point away.
Current value of strength, 69.
We want to increase this.
How much do you want to raise or lower the attribute?
Okay.
Raised by 20, dimmed. Radio button, unchecked, 1 of
Okay,
9.
raise. It's
Raise by 10. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 9.
I want to raise it. It's okay. Let's try raise it by 10.
Unchecked.
Okay.
Raise by 5. Dim. Raise by 1. Radio button. Checked.
Let's
4 of
also
9. Raise by 1. Radio button. Checked. 4 of 9.
I also want to raise
Check.
this up. Okay, I want it. That should give me 21.
Current value of strength. 69. How much? Raise by 20. Dimmed. Radio button. Raise by 10. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 9.
I hit 10. Oh, man, it's really tricky. Okay, let's try
Unchecked.
it again. I want to hear check.
Raise by 10. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 9.
It won't do it. That's really weird.
Raise by 5. Dimmed. Radio button. Raise by 1. Radio button. Checked. 4 of 9. Lower by 1. Radio button. Unchecked. 5. Lower by 5. Radio button. Unchecked. Lower by 10. Radio button. Unchecked. Lower by 20. Radio button. Unchecked.
wanna raise
8 of 9.
it.
Cancel. Radio. Lower by 20. Lower by 10. Lower by 5. Radio button. Unchecked. Lower by 1. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of. Raise by 1. Radio button. Check. Raise by 5. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked.
Okay, so maybe
3
it
of
won't
9.
let me be any stronger.
Raise by 1. Radio button. Checked. 4 of 9.
Let's try this.
Cancel. Next. Button.
Let's
Text
find
current
out.
attributes.
Puts it back up at 70. I want our strength to go back up.
Strength. 70%.
Okay, well, maybe we can't raise it anymore.
Dexterity. 65%. Agility. 60%. Stamina. 55%.
Let's find out if we can increase our stamina.
Charisma. 35%. Stamina. 55%. Charisma. Intelligence. Willpower. 40. Perception. Remaining attribute. Which attribute would you like to adjust? Remaining attribute points. 20.
We still have 20.
Which attribute would you like to adjust? Strength. Physical power. Allowing me to lift more and strike hard. Dexterity. Agility. Mesh. Stamina. Physical
Let's
durability
increase
for
our
such things as
stamina.
withstanding pain, the elements, and disease. Survivalists find this attribute important. Charisma. Measure social ability. Stamina. Physical durability for such things as. Checked.
Okay, let's try to increase our stamina.
Charisma. Measure social. Intelligence. Willpower. Mental. Perception. I'd rather choose my attributes another way. Next. Button.
Let's try to increase our
Next.
stamina. All right, so this is stamina.
Remaining attribute points. 20.
We have 20 points.
Current value of stamina. 55.
Okay.
How much do you want to raise or lower the attribute? Raise by 20. Dimmed. Radio. Raise by 10. Radio button. Checked. 2 of 9.
Oh, good. We can increase this.
Raise by 5. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 9.
Let's raise our stamina by a good amount here.
Raise by 10. Radio button. Checked. 2 of 9.
Let's
Raise by 10. Radio button. Checked. 2 of 9.
that's fine. We'll increase it by 10.
Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Current attributes.
Okay.
Strength. 70%. Dexterity. 65%. Agility. 60%. Stamina. 65%.
Cool, our stamina's up. All right, now let's increase our
Agility. 60%. Dexterity. 65%. Strength. 70%. Stamina. 60. Charisma. 35%.
I think our charisma's a little low. Let's increase our charisma a tiny bit.
Intelligence. 40%. Willpower. Remain. Which attribute would you like? Strength. Physical. Dexterity. Quickness. Hand-eye coordination. And agility. Measures movement. Ability to dodge. And flexibility. Impacts athletics.
I
Close
think
combat weapons. Hand-to-hand combat.
Wait a second.
Scavenging,
Agility is
and stealth.
important.
Radio
I'm
button.
sorry.
Unchecked. 3 of 9.
Charisma. We may have to skip you for a while.
Agility. Measures movement. Ability
Let's
to dodge. Checked.
I want to work on. I'll get to charisma.
Stamina. Physical
One day.
durability for such. Charisma. Intelligence. Willpower. Mental. I'd rather choose my attributes and. Next. Button.
Let's increase our
Next.
agility.
Remaining attribute points. 10.
We got 10 points.
Current value of agility. 60. How much do you want to raise or lower the attribute? Raise by 20. Dimmed. Raise by 10. Radio button. Checked. 2 of 9.
Well, we'll just raise it by 10. I think that's going to be good enough for now.
Cancel. Radio button. Next. Button.
Let's give that 10 points. Cool.
Strength. 70%. Dexterity. 65%. Agility. 70%.
Cool. Agility 70.
Stamina. 65%. Charisma. 35%. Intelligence. 40. Willpower. 45. Perception. 50%. I agree. This is the best representation of my attributes. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2.
Yep, I think we're done. We've got everything.
Perception. 50%. I agree. I disagree. I should redo my attribute. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked.
All right, let's find out what's next here for us.
One's profession reveals much about his. One's profession reveals much. Show stats. Button. One's profession reveals much about his or her knowledge, experiences, and numerous skills. Some professions prepare people for handling the harsh life of apocalyptic survival. Some professions increase one's ability to deal with other survivors, while yet other professions are perfect for rebuilding society in the aftermath of a civilization-altering event.
All right, so profession time.
Many professions have preferred skills which can improve at an easier rate and may reach master level. Non-preferred skills may only reach a superior level of ability, usually enough to accomplish most feats.
This is going to be important. We need to choose the correct profession that makes us the best overall character.
What profession best describes you?
I don't know.
Bank robber. Radio button. Check. 1 of
Bank
16.
robber. We are not a bank robber.
College student. Radio button. Unchecked.
We're
2 of
not
16.
a college student.
Con artist. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of
Con
16.
artist, no.
Engineer. Radio button. Unchecked. 4
Engineer.
of 16.
Boy, none of these resonate with me.
Hacker. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 16.
Nope.
Healthcare professional. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of
Nope.
16. Homemaker. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 16.
No.
Laborer. Radio button. Unchecked. 8 of 16.
Laborer. I think that sounds right.
Mixed martial artist. Radio button.
Ooh,
Unchecked. 9 of
mixed
16.
martial artist sounds pretty freaking cool.
Movie star. Radio button. Unchecked. 10 of 16.
Star?
Police officer. Radio button.
Police
Unchecked.
officer?
11 of 16.
No.
Professional wrestler. Radio button.
Professional
Unchecked. 12 of
wrestler
16.
sounds interesting.
Scientist. Radio button. Unchecked. 13 of 16.
Scientist?
Soldier. Radio button. Unchecked.
Ooh,
14 of
soldier.
16.
Cool.
Teenager. Radio button. Unchecked. 15 of
Teenager?
16.
Nah.
Custom profession or background. Radio button. Unchecked. 16
Custom
of 16.
profession. We could make a custom profession. That sounds like a long process.
Next. Button.
Let's just take a mixed martial artist. Sounds super cool.
Custom. Teen. Soul. Police officer. Movie star. Mixed martial artist. Radio button. Unchecked. 9 of 6. Checked.
Cool. Mixed martial artist. Yes.
Scientist. Soul. Team. Custom Next. Button. Next. Button.
Go next.
Range. Mixed martial artists are students of unarmed fighting and self-defense who participate in close combat competitions. Their training and devotion to martial arts includes surviving in harsh circumstances, ignoring pain, and enduring the mental stress of physical altercations.
Yeah, we got points in those fields. We definitely did. We could have probably made it even more.
Mixed martial artists are students of unarmed profession. Preferred skill 1. Hand-to-hand combat.
All right, we have to choose these are our preferred skills.
Preferred skill 1. Hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Preferred skill 2. Athletics.
Athletics is preferred skill 2.
Athletics. 3.
Athletics at 3.
Adept.
I'm adept at athletics.
Close combat weapons. 2.
I have 2 close combat weapon skills.
Beginner.
Beginner.
Hand-to-hand combat. 5.
Hand-to-hand combat 5.
Superior.
Ooh, I'm a superior in hand-to-hand combat.
Intimidation. 3.
Intimidation is 3.
Adept.
I'm adept at intimidation.
Search. 1.
Search, I'm really not good at searching for things.
Basic. Stealth. 1.
I'm not very good at stealth.
Basic. Survival. 1.
I'm not very good at survival.
Basic. Untrained skills. Cooking.
Oh, I need to learn how to cook.
Crafting. Driving.
I need to learn how to craft and drive.
Electronics.
Electronics.
Empathy.
Empathy.
Leadership.
Leadership.
Medicine.
I'm really bad at everything else.
Persuasion. Ranged weapons. Scavenging.
Boy, I can't do much.
Science. Do you want to keep this profession or choose again?
That's fine. We'll be bad at everything else.
Keep this profession. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 2.
Let's just keep it.
Do you want keep this profession? Radio button. Checked. Choose again. Radio button. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked.
We're very impractical as a survivalist. It's fine. We're going to keep it, though.
Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Some individuals have challenges, either show stats, but some individuals have challenges, either inherited through genetics, as a result of illness, or developed through the course of life. Though these disadvantages can cause difficulties for most people, they often grant opportunities for growth in other aspects of life. When a deficit occurs, people develop ways to compensate. Some perceived challenges may even be positive.
Okay, so this is, I think, the section with disabilities.
Which challenge do you have?
All right, let's find out our challenge.
Addiction to alcohol. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 16.
Addiction to alcohol.
Addiction to nicotine. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 16.
Nicotine.
Claustrophobia. Radio button. Unchecked.
Oh,
3
I
of
do
16.
have a claustrophobia kind of thing.
Allergic to pollen. Radio button.
Pollen?
Unchecked. 4 of 16. Deep sleeper. Radio button.
Deep
Unchecked.
sleeper?
5 of 16.
Not really.
Delusions. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of
Delusions?
16.
Nah.
Dependent child. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of
Dependent
16.
child? What would that cause?
Fear of heights. Radio button.
I do
Unchecked.
have a
8
fear
of
of
16.
heights.
Hearing impairment. Radio button.
Hearing
Unchecked.
impairment?
9 of 16.
No.
Kleptomania. Radio button. Unchecked. 10 of 16.
Kleptomania?
Night blindness. Radio button. Unchecked.
Yeah, I
11
do
of
have
16.
night blindness.
Pet owner. Radio button.
Pet
Unchecked.
owner.
12 of 16. Short fuse. Radio button.
Short
Unchecked.
fuse?
13 of 16. Vegetarian. Radio button. Unchecked.
Vegetarian.
14 of 16. Visual impairment. Radio button.
I do have
Unchecked.
visual
15 of 16.
impairment. Should we take that?
On second thought, I have no challenges. Visual impairment. Radio button. Unchecked. 15 of 16.
What do you guys think? Should we go for any of these? Do these sound interesting? The claustrophobia is true. I have a bit of issue with that. But then I could take visual impairment. It's really a hard decision. Let's go for claustrophobia.
Deep sleeper. Radio button. Claustrophobia. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 6. Checked.
Okay, let's take that. Cool.
Short fuse. On sec. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
You're afraid of confined spaces and crowded areas. You avoid these places at all costs. When forced into such areas, you experience anxiety or even panic. Lacking the willpower to handle such events, you will flee the area or take other drastic measures.
Okay, that's not good, but oh well.
Are you sure you have claustrophobia? Yes. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2. No. Yes. Radio button. Check. No. Radio. Next. Button.
Yep. Let's
Next.
take it. Now what?
Do you have any other challenges?
Uh-oh, we can choose another challenge? I think that's enough.
Yes. I do have. No. I have no other challenges. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 2. Checked.
We're not giving ourselves any more problems.
No. I have no other challenges. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked. Challenge. Claustrophobic. Are you sure these are your challenges? Yes. These are my challenges. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 2. Next. Button.
Yep,
Unchecked.
that's done.
Throughout your life, you've enjoyed many hobbies and pastimes, but 2 have captured your interest the most. The first being
All right, now we have hobbies.
dancing. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 12.
Dancing? Nah.
Distance running. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
I
of 12.
do love distance running.
Drawing. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of
Drawing?
12.
I like drawing.
Exercising. Radio button. Unchecked.
I
4
do
of 12.
love exercising.
Knitting. Radio button.
Knitting?
Unchecked. 5 of 12.
Nope.
Gardening. Radio button.
Gardening?
Unchecked. 6
No.
of 12. Listening to music. Radio button. Unchecked.
I
7
love
of 12.
music.
Meditating. Radio
Meditation?
button. Unchecked. 8 of 12.
Yep.
Playing a musical instrument. Radio button. Unchecked. 9
Nope.
of 12. Playing video games. Radio button. Unchecked. 10 of 12.
Yeah, I love video games.
Reading books. Radio button. Unchecked. 11 of 12.
I love that.
Singing. Radio button.
Nope.
Unchecked. Next. Button.
Let's go for, I think we have to choose 2 of these. Let's go for,
Singing. Reading. Playing video. Playing video games. Radio button. Unchecked.
this
10
is
of 12.
game, the channel. So let's take video games.
Checked.
I think we have to choose them one at a time.
Next. Button.
Let's find out if I'm
Video games are
correct.
as much a pastime as a way of life. You play all manner of genres and platforms, whether PC, console, or mobile. Playing for hours on end has quickened your reflexes and improved your hand-eye coordination.
Cool. Hope this works out that I could choose one at a time.
Yes, video games is my hobby. Radio button. Checked. On set. Next. Button.
Let's
Unchecked.
choose our second one. I think we have to choose a second one now.
Your second hobby is
Perfect. I'm starting to get the gist of it here.
dancing. Radio. Distance running. Drawing. Radio button. Unchecked.
I
3
love
of 11.
distance running.
Distance running. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
Let's
of 11.
check that one.
Checked.
I do like that. Let's go
Next. Button.
next to that.
Whether it's cross-country running or training for a marathon, your hobby takes you on long treks across your neighborhood and beyond. Through distance running, your body has gained great endurance, and you rarely get winded from a job that would leave others panting and passing out.
Yep.
Yes, distance running is my hobby. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 2. Next. Button.
Let's take that.
Untrained. Here are your current skills.
All right. Current skills.
Athletics. 3. Adept. Close combat weapons. 2. Beginner. Hand-to-hand combat. 5. Superior. Intimidation. 3. Adept. Search. 1. Basic. Stealth. 1. Basic. Survival. 1. Basic. Untrained skills. Cooking. Crafting. Drive. Lead. Medic.
We have a
Persuasion.
lot of untrained skills.
Range. Scavenging. Science. Skill levels may be. Note. Skill levels may be raised using skill points. The cost of a skill level is listed beside the name of the skill. To see a description of each skill, click Show Stats and select Skill Reference.
All right. So we can increase skill levels.
Note. Levels are a measure of how much you're trained in that skill. Percentages show your actual ability in that skill, based on your attributes and the skill level. For example, you may have a level 5 in ranged weapons, but if your dexterity and perception are low, your ranged percentage will be moderate.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of factors here.
You have 77 remaining skill points.
Oh, cool. We have a lot of skill points to use. Sweet.
Athletics 3. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 19.
All right. So now we have to put some individual points and skills.
You have 77 remaining skill points. Athletics 3. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button.
Okay.
Checked. 1 of 19.
Athletics. That's maybe.
Close combat weapons 2. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 19.
Let's put some points into
Close combat weapons 2. Cost 3
close combat
Check.
weapons.
Cooking 0. Craft. Driving 0. Cost 1 to raise. Hand-to-hand combat. Intimidation 3. Leadership 0. Cost. Medicine 0. Persuasion 0. Ranged weapons. Scavenging 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 14
Can
of 19.
we just put them in right now, all at once? Let's find out.
Ranged weapons 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 13 of 19.
Let's find out if they let us.
Check. Persuasion 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. Medicine 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 11 of 19.
I'm gonna just start double tapping, see if they let me do it all at once.
Leadership 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button.
Let's put a
Unchecked.
point in leadership.
Checked. Intimidation 3. Cost 4 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 9 of 19. Hand-to-hand combat 5. Cost 5 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 8 of 19. Checked.
Let's find out if it's doing.
Driving 0. Close note. Levels. You have 77 remaining skill points.
No, it's going to make us do it one at a time. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it one at a time.
Athletics 3. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 1
Let's
of
just
19.
do it one at a time.
Check. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button. Save my remaining skill points to spend on later event. Save my remaining skill points to spend. Survival 1. Save my next. Button. Next. Button.
Let's just use
Unchecked.
it. All right.
Hand-to-hand combat. 5. Beginner. Close combat web. Advanced. Athletics. Here are your current skill. Your athletic skill has been. Show stats. Button. Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Shows. Your athletic skill has been raised from 3 to 4.
All right, cool.
Here are your current skills. Athletics. 4. Advanced. Close combat. Beginner. Hand-to-hand. Suit. Intimidate. Adept. Search. 1. Basic. Stealth. Basic. Survival. 1. Basic. Untrained. Cooking. Crafting. Driving. Electronics. Empathy. Leadership. Medicine. Persuasion. Ranged weapons. Scavenging. Athletics 4. Close combat web. Athletics 4. You have 74 remaining skill points.
All right, we have 74 skill points left. Let's put some more points in here.
Athletics 4. Costs 4 to raise. Radio button. Check. 1 of 19.
Athletics 4.
You have Athletics 4. Costs 4 to raise. Radio button. Check.
Let's put
1 of 19.
1 point in athletics.
Check.
Okay.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Boom.
Cooking. Your athletic skill has been raised from 4 to 5.
I think that makes us superior, I think.
Here are your current skills. Athletics. 5. Superior.
Perfect.
Close combat weapons. 2. Beginner.
Okay. Swiping fast to the right.
Electronics. Persuasion. Ranged web. Scavenging. Science. You have close combat. Athletics 5. You have 70 remaining skill points.
All right, with 70 points remaining, let's put some work in some of these other skills.
Athletics 5. Close combat weapons 2. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of
Let's
19.
take close quarter weapons.
Close combat weapons 2. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
Let's
of 19.
do that.
Check. Close combat weapon. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Let's take that.
Cooking. Your close combat weapon skill has been raised from 2 to 3.
Perfect.
Here are your current skills. Athletics. 5. Superior. Close combat. Adept. Close combat weapons. 3. Adept.
We're adept at that. Cool.
Untrained skill. Cook. Crafting. Drive. Lead. Medicine. Persuasion. Ranged weapons. Scavenging. Science. You have 67 remaining skill points.
Let's learn some other stuff.
Athletics 5. Cost 5 to raise. Close combat weapons 3. Cost 4 to raise. Cooking 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of
Let's
19.
learn cooking. We need to learn how to cook.
Check. Page 3 of 3. Next.
Let's
Button.
get that.
Unchecked.
Okay.
Leadership. Persuasion. Cooking 1. Cost. Athletics 5. Cost. Crafting 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Athletics 5. You have 66 remaining skill points.
66 skill points.
Athletics 5. Cost 5 to raise. Close combat weapons 3. Cost 4 to. Cooking 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio button. Crafting 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button.
Let's
Unchecked.
learn
4 of 19.
crafting.
Checked. Crafting 0. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button. Cooking. Your
Cool.
crafting skill has been raised from 0 to 1.
Cool. We can craft now.
Untrained skill. Persuasion. You have athletics 5. Cost. Close. Cooking 1. Cost 2. Crafting 1. Cost 2 to raise. Driving 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked.
And let's
5
learn
of
how to
19.
drive also.
Page 3 of 3. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
We need to
Unchecked.
know how to drive in the apocalypse. Okay.
Empathy 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. Electronics 0. Cost. Driving 1. Cost 2 to raise. Electronics 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button.
Electronics?
Unchecked. 6 of 19.
Nah.
Empathy 0. Cost 1 to raise.
Let's
Radio button.
have a little
Unchecked.
empathy.
7 of 19.
Nah.
Hand-to-hand combat 5. Cost 5 to raise.
Oh,
Radio button.
hand-to-hand
Unchecked. 8 of
combat
19.
is really good. Let's put 5 points more in that.
Checked. Page 3 of 3. Undo. Next. Button.
Boom.
Unchecked.
Hand-to-hand combat skill.
Your hand-to-hand combat skill has been raised from 5 to 6. Here are your current skills. Athletics. 5. Superior. Close combat weapons. 3. Adept. Cooking. 1. Basic. Crafting. 1. Basic. Driving. 1. Basic. Hand-to-hand combat. 6. Expert.
We're expert. Lovely.
Intimidation. 3. Adept. Search. 1.
Okay, let's get some more searching ability. That sounds important.
Basic. Stealth. Basic. Basic. Untrained. Empathy. Lead. Medicine. Persuasion. Range. Scavenging. Science. You have 59 remaining skill points.
Okay, we're 59 points left. Let's go.
Athletic. Close combat weapons 3. Cost. Cooking 1. Crafting 1. Driving 1. Electronics 0. Empathy 0. Cost. Hand-to-hand combat 6. Cost 6 to. Intimidation 3. Cost 4 to raise. Radio button.
Intimidation
Unchecked. 9
could
of
be
19.
important.
Leadership 0. Cost 1 to raise.
We need
Radio
a point.
button.
Let's get
Unchecked.
some little bit of leadership
Check.
abilities.
Page 3 of 3.
Okay.
Next. Button.
Okay, now I got a little bit
Your
of
leadership skill has
leadership
been raised from 0
ability.
to 1.
Cool.
Untrained. Science.
for-
You have athletics 5. Cost 5 to raise. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 19.
Athletics. these are good.
You have 58 remaining skill points. Athletics, close combat weapon, cooking 1, crafting 1, driving 1, electronics 0, empathy 0, cost, hand-to-hand combat 6, intimidation 3, cost, leadership 1, cost, medicine 0, cost 1 to raise.
Medicine,
radio button,
no.
uncheck, persuasion 0, cost 1 to raise. Radio
Let's
button,
put a point in
uncheck.
persuasion. Persuasion is
Check.
important.
Page 3 of 3.
Let's take that.
Next, button.
A little
Cooking, your
persuasion
skill
goes a
has been
long
raised from
way.
0 to 1.
Okay.
Here are basic, craft, driving 1, hand, expert. Survival 1. Basic. Untrained ranged weapons. Scavenging. Ranged weapons.
Oops.
Medicine. Ranged weapons. Scavenging. Science. You have cooking 1. Cost 2 to electronics 0. Empathy 0. Hand-to-hand combat 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio button. Intimidation 3. Cost leadership 1. Medicine 0. Cost persuasion 1. Ranged weapons 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio
Let's
button.
range
Unchecked.
weapons.
13 of 19.
We're kind of a mixed martial artist. We're not going to use very many range weapons, but
Scavenging 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked.
let's get some
14 of 19.
scavenging skills. That
Check.
could be important.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Let's get that.
Cooking. Your scavenging skill has been raised from 0 to 1.
Okay, cool.
Untrained skills. Electronics 0. Cost. Empathy 0. Cost. Hand-to-hand combat 6. Intimidation 3. Leadership 1. Medicines. Persuasion. Ranged weapon. Scavenging 1. Science 0. Cost 1 to raise.
Science,
Radio button.
nah.
Unchecked. Search 1. Cost 2 to raise.
Yeah, let's
Radio
get
button.
a
Unchecked.
search.
16 of 19.
We need to be able
Check.
to search for things.
Page
That's
3 of 3.
important.
Next. Button. Cooking. Your search skill has been raised from 1 to 2.
Cool. Getting a little better at that.
Untrained skills. Cooking 1. Cost. Scavenging 1. Science 0. Cost 1. Search 2. Cost 3 to. Stealth 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio
Yeah, we
button.
need some
Unchecked.
stealth.
17 of
Stealth
19.
would be important.
Checked. Page 3
Let's
of
get
3.
some more stealth.
Next. Button.
Cool.
Cooking. Your stealth skill has been raised from 1 to 2.
Cool. That's better.
Untrained skills. Empathy 0. Medicine 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio
Medicine.
button. Persuasion 1. Cost. Ranged weapons. Scavenging 1. Science 0. Search 2. Cost. Stealth 2. Cost. Survival 1. Cost 2 to raise.
Oh, yeah. We
Radio
need
button.
some more
Unchecked.
survival. Survival
Check.
skills are important.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Let's take that.
Cooking. Your survival skill has been raised from 1 to 2.
Cool. That's important.
Untrained skills. Electronics 0. Empathy 0. Intimidation 3. Cost 4 to raise. Lead. Medicine 0. Search 2. Cost 3 to raise.
Search.
Stealth 2. Cost 3 to raise. Survival 2. Save my remaining skill points to spend on later events. Survival 2. Cost 3 to raise. Radio
Let's
button.
get some
Unchecked.
more
18 of
survival
19.
skills up.
Check.
More survival.
Survival 2. Cost 3 to raise. Next. Button. Next. Button.
Cool.
Unchecked.
More survival skills. Cool. We got a little bit of help in that.
Cooking 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 19. Here are your current skills. Athletics. 5.
Let's get our prime skills up a little bit now.
Superior. Close. Adapt. Cooking. 1. Basic. Hand to adapt. Leadership. Basic. Persuasion. 1. Basic. Scavenging. 1. Basic. Search. 2. Beginner. Stealth. 2. Beginner. Survival. 3. Adapt. Untrained skills. Electronics. Empathy. Medicine. Ranged weapons. Science. You have 47 remaining skill points.
All right, we have 47 skill points. Let's put our big guns up there.
Athletics 5. Cost 5 to raise. Radio button. Check.
Let's do
1 of 19.
more athletics.
Page 3 of 3. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
There we go.
Cooking. Your athletic
Athletics
skill
are
has
up.
been raised from 5 to 6.
That'll give us expert.
Here are your current skills. Athletic. Basic. Basic. Scavenging. 1. Basic. Adapt. Untrained. Electronics. Close combat weapons 3. Cost 4 to raise. Radio button.
Close
Unchecked. 2 of
combat.
19.
We should raise that.
Athletics. Close combat weapons 3. Cost 4 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's
2
get
of 19.
that close combat
Check.
weapons.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Take that. That's
Your close
important.
combat weapon skill has been raised from 3 to 4.
Yeah, we should get that up one more point too.
Beginner. Stealth. Empathy. Cooking 1. Cost 2. Electronics 0. Empathy 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Cooking 1. Close combat weapons 4. Cost 5 to raise.
Let's
Radio
raise
button.
that close combat one more.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Okay, there we go.
Unchecked.
Cool.
Your close combat weapon skill has been raised from 4 to 5.
That's good. That'll be a superior.
Basic. Search. Stealth. 2. Beginner. Untrained skills. You have athletic 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio
Athletic
button.
is 6.
1. Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to
5.
raise. Cooking 1. Cost 2 to raise.
Cooking
Radio
1,
button. Unchecked.
no.
Crafting 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. Cooking. Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise. Dimmed. Radio. Athletic 6. Cost 6 to raise. You have 33 remaining skill points. Athletic 6. Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise. Dimmed.
Let's do
Radio
close
button.
combat
Unchecked.
a little
2 of
bit
19.
more.
Unchecked. Page 3 of 3.
Oops.
Leadership 1. Cost 2 to lead. Intimidation. Hand-to-hand combat. Empathy 0. Hand-to-hand combat 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 8 of 19.
Let's do
Check.
hand-to-hand combat first.
Next. Button. Unchecked.
Okay, what did that get me?
Athletics 6. Your hand-to-hand combat skill has been raised from 6 to 7. Here are your current skills. Athletics 6. Expert. Close combat weapons 5. Superior. Cooking 1. Basic. Crafting 1. Basic. Driving 1. Basic. Hand-to-hand combat 7. Master.
Oh, we're a master. Nice.
Intimidation 3. Adept. Leadership 1. Basic. Persuasion 1. Basic. Scavenging 1. Basic. Search 2. Beginner. Stealth 2. Beginner.
Nice.
Survival 3. Adept. Untrained skills. Electron. You have 27 remaining
We
skill
have
points.
27 more points, so we can really get down and deeper here.
Athletic 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio button. Check. 1 of 19.
Athletic.
Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise.
Let's
Dim.
raise
Radio
our
button.
close
Unchecked.
combat.
Unchecked. Cooking 1. Cost 2. Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise. Cooking 1. Cost 2. Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 19. Athletic 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 19. You have 27 remaining skill. Athletic 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 19.
I hit this
Close
one.
combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked.
Oh, I can't
2
put
of
it up
19.
anymore, I guess.
Athletic 6. Cost 6 to raise. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 19.
Let's try that one. Okay, it's checked
Page 3
already.
of 3. Next. Button.
Let's do it.
Checked.
You just won't let us put that up anymore.
Here are your current skills. Your athletic skill has been raised from 6 to 7.
Cool.
Here are your current skills. Athletics 7. Master. Close combat weapons 5. Superior. Cooking 1. Basic. Crafting 1. Basic. Driving 1. Basic. Hand-to-hand combat 7. Master. Intimidation 3. Adept. Leadership 1. Basic. Persuasion 1. Basic. Scavenging 1. Basic. Search 2. Beginner. Stealth 2. Beginner. Empathy.
Okay, that's cool.
You have close combat weapons. Athletic 7. You have 21 remaining skill points.
21 skill points left.
Athletic 7. Cost 7 to raise. Dimmed. Radio button.
Can't raise that
Unchecked.
anymore.
1 of 19. Close combat weapons 5. Cost 6 to raise. Dimmed. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
Can't
of 19.
raise that one anymore.
Cooking 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio
Cooking.
button. Checked. 3 of 19. Crafting 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio
No.
button. Driving 1. Cost 2 to raise. Electronics 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Empathy 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 19.
Empathy's nice.
Hand-to-hand combat 7. Cost 7 to raise. Dimmed. Radio button.
Can't raise
Unchecked.
that anymore.
8 of, intimidation 3. Cost 4 to raise. Radio button.
No.
Leadership 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's
10 of
take
19.
leadership. Increase that
Check.
by 1 point.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button. Cooking. Your leadership skill has been raised from 1 to 2.
Cool, that's good.
Basic. Cert. Adapt. Empathy. Medicine. Ranged weapons. Crafting 1. Driving 1. Cost. Empathy 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. Hand-to-hand combat 7. Intimidation 3. Leadership 2. Cost. Medicine 0. Cost 1. Persuasion 1. Cost 2 to raise. Ranged weapons 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio
Let's
button.
raise our
Unchecked.
range weapons
Check.
up a little bit.
Medicine 0. Persuasion 1. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
At least
Check.
we can use range weapons if we need to.
Basic. Beginner.
Let's try.
Medicine. Site. You have 18 remaining skill point. Driving 1. Cost 2. Empathy 0. Cost. Hand-to-hand combats. Intimidation 3. Cost 4 to raise. Leadership 2. Cost 3. Medicine 0. Cost. Persuasion 1. Cost. Ranged weapons 1. Cost 2. Scavenging 1. Cost 2 to raise.
Let's
Radio
raise
button.
scavenging.
Unchecked.
I think
14 of
scavenging
19.
is really important.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
Let's get
Cooking.
that.
Your scavenging skill has been raised from 1 to 2.
Cool. All right. Let's do
Untrained
that
skills.
again.
Leadership 2. Persuasion 1. Ranged weapons. Scavenging 2. Cost 3 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 14 of 19.
Yeah, let's
Check.
get that up a little
Page
bit
3
more.
of 3.
Scavenging is really important.
Next. Button. Cooking.
that
Your
up.
scavenging skill has been raised from 2 to 3.
That's good.
Beginner. You have 13 close combat electronics empathy 0 hand-to-hand intimidation 3
Let's
cost
just
4 to
finish.
raise.
Get
Radio
scavenging
button.
up as high
Unchecked.
as we can.
Leadership 2 medicine 0 persuasion 1 ranged weapons scavenging 3 cost 4 to raise. Radio button.
There we go.
Check.
Let's raise that up a
Page
little
3
bit
of 3.
more.
Next. Button. Cooking. Your scavenging skill has been raised from 3 to 4.
Cool, that works.
Beginner. Stealth. Beginner. Survival. Adapt. Untrained skills. Athletic 7. Cost 7 to raise. You have 9 remaining skill points.
We have 9 skill points.
Driving 1. Electronics. Hand-to-hand combats. Intimidation 3. Leadership 2. Cost 3. Medicine 0. Persuasion 1. Cost. Ranged weapons 1. Cost. Scavenging 4. Cost 5 to raise. Radio
Let's
button.
raise that
Unchecked.
one more time.
Page 3 of 3. Next.
I
Button.
think we're running
Cooking.
out
Your
of
scavenging skill has
points.
been raised from 4 to 5.
I think we have a couple more points left.
Untrained skill. Elect. Medicine. Cyan. You have 4 remaining skill points. Cyan. You have 4 remaining skill
4
points.
remaining skill points.
Athletic 7. Costs. Close combat weapons. Cooking 1. Crafting 1. Driving 1. Cost. Electronics 0. Costs 1 to raise. Radio button. Empathy 0. Costs
Let's
1 to
get
raise.
1
Radio
point in
button.
empathy.
Checked. Page 3 of 3. Next. Button.
that
Cooking. Your
skill.
empathy skill has been raised from 0 to 1.
Okay, there we
Beginner.
go.
Untrained. Science. You have 3 remaining skill points.
We have 3 points.
Athletic 7. Cost 7 to raise. Close combat weapons 5. Cooking 1. Cost 2. Crafting 1. Cost 2. Driving 1. Cost 2. Electronics 0. Cost 1 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked.
Electronics.
6 of 19. Empathy 1. Cost 2 to hand-to-hand combat 7. Intimidation 3. Cost 4. Leadership 2. Cost. Medicine 0. Cost 1 to raise.
1 point
Radio
in
button.
medicine. That'll
Check.
be fine.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button. Cooking. Your medicine skill has been raised from 0 to 1.
Cool. We can do a little medicine. We have 2
Beginner.
points left, I think.
Adept. Untrained. Electronic. Science. You have 2 remaining skill. Athletic 7. Close combat weapon. Cooking 1. Cost. Crafting 1. Cost 2 to raise. Radio button. Unchecked. 4 of 19.
Let's try get
Check.
our last 2 points in this.
Page 3 of 3. Next. Button. Unchecked.
I think that's it. We're out of skill points.
Here are your current skills. Your crafting skill has been raised from 1 to 2. Show stats. Button. Your crafting skill has been raised from 1 to 2.
Cool.
Here are your current skills. Athletics. 7.
Okay, this is it. This is our final list.
Master. Close combat weapons. 5. Superior. Cooking. 1. Basic. Crafting. 2. Beginner. Driving. 1. Basic. Empathy. 1. Basic. Hand-to-hand combat. 7. Master. Intimidation. 3. Adept. Leadership. 2. Beginner. Medicine. 1. Basic. Persuasion. 1. Basic. Ranged weapons. 1. Basic. Scavenging. 5. Superior. Search. 2. Beginner. Stealth. 2. Beginner. Survival. 3. Adept. Untrained skills.
And here's our untrained skills.
Electronics. Science. Considering your personality and moral values, how would you characterize yourself?
All right, now we're going to get to morality. Okay.
Chivalrous savior. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 7.
Chivalrous savior. Maybe.
Good-natured cutthroat. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 7.
Good-natured cutthroat. Nah.
Idealist. Radio button. Unchecked. 3
We
of
are
7.
an idealist normally.
Manipulative puppet master. Radio button. Unchecked. 4
That's
of 7.
cool. Manipulative puppet master.
Practical survivalist. Radio button. Unchecked. 5 of 7.
Practical survivalist. Yes.
Psychopathic bandit. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of 7.
No.
Merciful raider. Radio button.
Merciful
Unchecked. 7 of 7.
raider. Interesting.
Next. Button.
Let's go for.
Psychopath. Practical survivalist. Radio
Let's
button.
go for
Unchecked. 5 of 7.
practical survivorist.
Checked. Next. Button.
Go next.
Next.
Cool.
Humanity. 35%. Your profile looks like this.
Okay, here's our profile.
Show stats. Your profile looks like this. Humanity. 35%. Morality. 35%. Impulsive. 35%. Calculated. 65%. Straightforward. 45%. Manipulative. 55%. Honorable. 30%. Pragmatic. 70%. Idealistic. 30%. Cynical. 70%. Does that capture your personality and morality traits?
I think it's fine. I don't care. It's just fantasy.
Yes. Radio button. Checked. 1. No. Radio. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Next.
All right. Doesn't matter.
You trained in using close combat weapons, particularly
All right.
cavalry sword. Radio button.
Ooh,
Check.
we get to
1 of
choose
6.
a weapon?
You trained. Show stats. Button. Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. Heading. Show stats. Button. You trained in using close combat weapons, particularly
What do we get to choose?
cavalry sword. Radio button. Check.
Ooh,
1 of
cavalry
6.
sword sounds super cool.
Fire axe. Radio button.
Fire
Unchecked.
axe.
2 of 6.
Ooh, that's cool.
Katana. Radio button. Unchecked.
Katana
3 of
sounds
6.
sick.
Machete. Radio button.
Machete
Unchecked. 4 of 6.
kills. Machete? Hmm.
Sledgehammer. Radio button.
Oh,
Unchecked. 5
we
of
could be
6.
swinging a sledgehammer. That sounds so awesome.
Trench knife. Radio button.
Trench
Unchecked.
knife.
6 of 6.
Nah.
Next. Button.
What do you think y'all think? Sledgehammer? You start slamming people with a sledgehammer? Oh, that sounds incredibly brutal.
Trench knife. Sledgehammer. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's go
5 of
for a
6.
sledgehammer.
Check.
Swinging a sledgehammer around.
Trench knife. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Next.
Okay, what's next?
A sledgehammer is an unconventional close combat weapon, but you started incorporating one as part of a fitness routine and enjoyed it enough to practice using it for self-defense. The steel head is perfect for breaking bones or concrete, making it versatile enough for whatever you'll face in the coming test of survival.
Nice.
Yes, I have a sledgehammer. Radio button. Check. 1 of 2. On second thought, I own something else. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Next. Button. Unchecked.
Now what?
As a hand-to-hand practitioner, you are proficient in
Okay, let's find out what else we can do here.
boxing. Radio button. Check.
Should
1
we
of
be
11.
a boxer?
Street fighting. Radio button. Unchecked. 2
Street
of 11.
fighting?
Kickboxing. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 11.
Kickboxing's probably closer.
Muay Thai. Radio button.
Muay
Unchecked.
Thai?
4 of 11.
No.
Wrestling. Radio button. Unchecked.
Wrestling?
5 of 11.
Definitely not.
Ground and pound wrestling. Radio button.
Ground
Unchecked.
and pound?
6 of 11. Catch wrestling. Radio button.
I don't know what
Unchecked.
that is.
7 of Judo. Radio button.
Judo?
Unchecked. 8 of 11.
Sounds interesting.
Sambo. Radio button. Unchecked.
Sambo?
9 of 11. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Radio button.
Jiu-jitsu.
Unchecked. 10 of 11.
Nice.
Another style. Radio button. Unchecked. Next. Button.
Let's go
Another-
for-
Catch wrestling. Ground and pound wrestling. Wrestling. Radio. Muay Thai. Radio. Kickboxing. Radio button. Street fighting. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 11. Boxing. Radio button. As a hand-to-hand practitioner. Boxing. Street fighting. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 11.
Let's go for street fighting. What do you think? Let's go for street
Check.
fighting. Yeah, street fighting. Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Another. Next. Button.
Next.
Next.
Okay.
Your training has been on the street in more unorthodox fighting, using any means necessary to take down an opponent.
Cool.
You remember buying a few supplies for a camping trip you were hoping to take.
Ooh, here goes some reward.
Compound bow. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 8.
We don't have any good range skills.
Crossbow. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 8. Foldable fishing pole and a tackle box. Radio button. Unchecked.
Ooh,
3 of 8.
fishing pole and tackle box could be great for fishing.
Fire starter kit. Radio button. Unchecked. 4
Starting
of
a
8.
fire could be important.
Canteen and water purifying tablets. Radio button. Unchecked.
Ooh,
5 of 8.
water is important.
Sleeping bag. Radio button. Unchecked. 6 of 8.
This is a hard decision.
2-person camping tent. Radio button. Unchecked. 7 of 8. Waterproof tarp. Radio button. Unchecked. 8 of 8. Next. Button.
I don't know what to choose. It's so hard.
You remember buying a few supplies for a compound bow. Radio button. Checked. Crossbow. Radio button. Unchecked. Foldable fishing pole and a tackle box. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 8.
Let's get the fishing pole.
Checked. Next. Button. The fishing pole's compact design allows for easy storage, and you'll never be hard-pressed to find a rich source of fish in Colorado streams and rivers.
Sweet. I love that.
The fishing pole's compact. Yes, I have a fishing pole. On second thought, I own. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked.
Now what?
Compound bow. Radio button. Checked. Next. You show stats. Button. Next. You choose. Compound bow. Radio button. Checked.
Oh, we get
1 of 7.
another one. We get another item.
Crossbow. Radio button. Unchecked. Fire starter kit. Radio button. Unchecked. 3 of 7.
Starting a fire could be very important.
Canteen and water purifying tablets. Radio button. Unchecked.
Ooh,
4 of
but
7.
having water is important too. Ooh. Let's go for
Fires. Canteen and water purifying tablets. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's
4
get
of
the
7.
water. Water is important.
Sleeping bag. Waterproof tarp. Waterproof tarp. Next. Button.
We'll take
Next.
that.
The canteen contains a water filtering head, though the extra pack of purifying tablets help disinfect the water, as well.
That's important.
Yes, I have a can. On second thought. Next. Button.
Let's go next.
Unchecked.
Do we have more we get to bring?
Next. You choose.
Oh, we get to choose another item.
Compound bow. Radio button. Checked. 1 of 6.
I think we should get a bow.
Crossbow. Radio button. Unchecked. 2 of 6. Fire starter kit. Radio button. Sleeping bag. Radio button. Fire starter kit. Radio button. Unchecked.
Let's
3
get a
of 6.
fire starter kit so we can cook our fish.
Checked.
Okay,
Waterproof tarp. Waterproof tarp. Next. Button. Next.
cool.
This pack of magnesium flint and tinder strips along with a metal striker makes lighting fires a snap.
That's going to be important to survive.
Yes, I have a fire starter. On second thought. Next. Button.
Go with
At the
that.
start of the outbreak, you gathered all of your supplies, which you recovered before you left Nightfall.
Well, that's all we get. We didn't get the bow, but we took the most important survival. We are a survivalist, and we want to make sure we have everything we need to survive.
Personal food. 40.
Okay.
At the start of the outbreak, you gathered all personal food. 40.
Personal food is 40.
Personal water. 50.
Water's good, 50.
List of your inventory.
Okay, here goes our inventory.
38 special revolvers. 1. Alcohol. 5. Aluminum baseball bats. 1. Backpacks. 1. Batteries. Pack. 1. Binoculars. 1. Blankets. 2. Canteens. 1. Compasses. 1. Crafting tools. 1. Fire starter kits. 1. Flashlights, 1. Folding fishing poles, 1. Food, 40. GPS, 1. Hammers, 1. Knives, 1. Laptops, 1. Metal parts, 4. Painkillers, 10. Pepper spray, 1. Rope and grappling hook, 1. Shampoo, bottles, 2. Shortwave radios, 1. Sledgehammers, 1. Smartphones, 1. Soap, bars, 2. Toothpaste, tubes, 1. Water, 50. Water purifying tablets, 1. Wood parts, 10.
Cool. We got some cool stuff. I love it.
38 special, next, but 38 special revolver, next, button.
Go next.
Before leaving home, you changed into your.
Oh, we get to change into an outfit?
Before leaving home, hiking clothes, radio button, checked, 1 of 2.
Hiking clothes sounds advantageous.
Street clothes, radio button,
Street
unchecked,
clothes
2 of 2.
do not sound that effective.
Next, button,
Let's go hiking clothes, yes.
street clothes. Street clothes, radio button, unchecked, 2 of street clothes. Next, button.
Go hiking clothes sounds
Uncheck.
much better.
You dressed in a thick shirt, rugged jeans, and a sturdy pair of hiking boots.
That sounds much smarter.
You readied your primary weapon. 38 special, radio button, checked, 1 of 7.
What do we carry around with us? I would say save the ammunition.
Baseball bat, radio button, unchecked, hammer, radio button, unchecked.
Hammer.
3 of knife, radio button,
break out our
unchecked.
sledgehammer.
4 of pepper spray, radio button, sledgehammer, radio button, unchecked. 6 of 7.
Sledgehammer, primary weapon.
Bare hands, radio, next, button,
Let's go next.
next. 38 special, radio button, and a backup weapon.
Oh, backup weapon. Let's go for
38 special, radio button, checked.
No.
1 of baseball bat, radio button, unchecked. Hammer, radio button, unchecked. Knife, radio button, unchecked. Pepper spray, radio button, unchecked. Sledgehammer, dimmed. Radio button, bare hands, radio button, unchecked.
what's our
7 of 7.
backup weapon? We might want to.
Next, button, bare, sledgehammer, pepper spray, knife, hammer, baseball bat, 38 special, radio button, checked.
We're
1
not
of
a
7.
very good range fighter, so
Baseball bat, radio button, unchecked.
let's take
2 of 7.
baseball bat.
Checked. Next, button, next. You drove a vehicle away from your home in the city.
Oh, we have a vehicle?
Bandit Jeep, radio button, checked. 1 of 6.
Bandit Jeep.
4-door luxury car, radio button, unchecked.
Nah.
2 of 6. 4-door sedan, radio button, unchecked.
That's
3
good.
of
It
6.
carries a lot of people.
Motorcycle, radio button, unchecked. 4
Nope,
of 6.
too dangerous.
Taxi cab, radio button, unchecked. 5
Pretty
of 6.
good.
2-door coupe, radio button, unchecked. 6 of 6.
I'm not trying to be super awesome like that.
Next, button,
Let's go for a Jeep.
Bandit Jeep. 4-door luxury car, Bandit Jeep, radio button, checked. 1 of
Yeah,
6.
let's take the Jeep.
Next, button, next. The Jeep was borrowed from the National Guard and has a .50 caliber machine gun mounted on top.
Oh, we got a machine gun. Sweet.
Did you choose the Bandit Jeep? Yes, I took the. No, I'd rather. Next, button.
Yep, we'll take
Uncheck.
it. Machine guns are good.
Which of the survivors joined your group at the end of part 1?
Okay, I don't know if anybody joined us in part 1. So we didn't play part 1.
Select each one at a time. All survivors, radio button, checked. 1 of 12.
Do we want all survivors? I don't think so. I want to keep it small. What do y'all think?
Billy, radio button, unchecked. 2. Church, radio button, unchecked. 3 of 12. Dante, radio button. Driver, radio button. Jillian, radio button. Lopez, radio. Nora,
I
radio
guess we
button,
need to play
unchecked.
part
8
1
of 12.
too.
Rosie, radio button. Tommy, radio button. Woody, radio. That's all who joined. Radio button, unchecked. 12 of 12. Next, button.
We probably have to choose 1 or 2 people. Let's just take a few.
Billy. Church, radio button. Billy. All, which of the survivors joined your. Select each one at a time. All survivors, radio button, checked. 1 of 12.
We can take all survivors, which could be good. What do y'all think? I don't know. What do you guys all think? I'm gonna let you all decide what we do here. I think we're. Let me check our time. I think we're just about out of time. There's a lot of decisions to be made. Where is my timer? Because I want to check how long we've been playing. And I think we're just about out. Let's see.
Timer off. The timer time is 1 hour 20 minutes.
Oh, turned it off. Okay, I think we're out of time. We're going to stop right here. I'm going to let you all decide how many people we take with us. Here is the list of folks we can have. I'm going to read it to y'all, and then y'all can decide in the comments.
All survivors, radio button, checked.
You
1
may
of 12.
choose all survivors.
Billy, radio button, unchecked. 2 of 12.
Bailey,
Church, radio button, unchecked. 3 of 12.
Church,
Dante, radio button, unchecked. 4 of 12.
Dante,
Driver, radio button, unchecked. 5 of 12.
Driver,
Jillian, radio button, unchecked. 6 of 12.
Jillian,
Lopez, radio button, unchecked. 7 of 12.
Lopez,
Nora, radio button, unchecked. 8 of 12.
Nora,
Rosie, radio button, unchecked. 9 of 12.
Rosie,
Tommy, radio button, unchecked. 10 of 12.
Tommy,
Woody, radio button, unchecked. 11 of 12.
Woody.
That's all who joined. Radio button, unchecked.
All right.
12 of 12.
So you all will get to decide who I am taking along with me. Just say who you want, and then whatever you all vote for, whatever you all vote the most of, that's who I'll take with on the journey. But that's going to wrap it up for now, folks. We're doing really good. I don't know if we're supposed to save, but I will peek around after I stop the recording. But thank you very much for joining me for the first episode of Zombie. I think we're on Safe Haven. So we're playing Safe Haven, and I think we go to Exodus next. So we're gonna play everything. So we're gonna have so much fun. But I want to thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for coming here for the first episode. I know it was a super long episode, and you are definitely a superstar if you made it this far. And we're going to come back next Tuesday for episode 2, giving you all plenty of time to vote for who you want us to take with on our adventure. And I'm going to try to keep it with the majority rules for whatever we do. If we get to a major point in the game, I'll go to you all and ask you what your decision making will do. Maybe minor decisions, I'll just make those myself in the interest of time. But I definitely have been having a lot of fun selecting all the choices here. This is really an exciting and fun game. I really, really like it. And I thank you all very much. If you'd like to find this game yourself, you can locate its link in my description. So love yourself, each other. Be kind to those during the zombie apocalypse if you can be. Don't axe anybody in the back. And keep gaming excessively with Mike every day. And I'll hear you all next week on the next episode of Zombie Safe Haven / Zombie Exodus next Tuesday. Take care, everyone.